Let's go.
Welcome to this evening's or this day's show of Alienate UK. Do you know what I love? I love it when I do the intro and you see the guests popping away to it.
Do you know what? That music, I'm a massive anime fan, and it is. It's just like that. So I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad you like it. Because I'm not changing it again because I've changed it about 20 times.
Oh, so no, keep that. That's wicked. That I love it.
Yeah. When I first heard it, I thought, yes, I'm having that. I've got to have that. So welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us this week, Nicole. It's a pleasure to see you. She's normally off and about.
Fridays.
Yeah, she's off and about doing investigations and public events and this, that, and the other. So
busy.
Yes. So just this time of year, though, isn't it? It's how it goes.
Busy season.
Yeah. So welcome everyone in the chat. You may notice that there are no people with spanners anymore, due to a complication with YouTube, shall we say. So there is not going to be any moderators other than myself and Nicole for the next few days.
So
I have explained to everyone who was modding that I've not just booted them off. I just want to try something to see if it gives the same response as what I got the other day. That's all I'm going to say. So we'll just see how it plays out. So just want to welcome Gaz Brown to the show. Thank you so much for coming on. So Gaz is the host or one of the hosts of the Paraverse Show with his co-host Nathan Lockley. So welcome and thank you.
You're welcome. No, nice to be here.
Yes, it's good. It's good. So we're going to talk about anything, but it's just that because I know what Nathan's into and all that, and then obviously with the poster behind you it says we are not alone.
Yeah,
literally UFO abducting someone on the road. So it's like, oh yeah, let's go down that path. So I'm gonna ask the shitty questions first.
Go on.
Of what got you into ufology? Not just but the ufology side to the paranormal.
Right. Well, I was always dead against it because as a kid, I grew up with a massive interest in astronomy and science and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually remember the year it was. It was 1980.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give away my age here. I was 9 years old and I'm playing with my cars on the carpet.
Yeah.
And the TV's on in the background. And all of a sudden I heard this voice and I was captivated. And then this music came and I was hooked. And it was Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World.
Love that show.
And that was the start of the dive down the rabbit hole because everything that people were reporting went against what I was taught in science, like the speed of light. Nothing can travel faster than the speed of light, anything with mass. But people are seeing these things in the sky. So some people, making it up. Other people, misidentification, aircraft, things like that. But out of thousands upon thousands of reports throughout the world, not everybody is mistaken. They can't be. So what's going on? What are these things? Where are they from? How can they get here, travel these vast distances across the universe? Because even at the speed of light, I mean, the closest star is what? 5-6 light years? That's
something like that, yeah.
So that's like a long time to get here and a long time to get back. So what do we have to start thinking interdimensionally? You know, are these beings just off of a different plane, that kind of thing? So it's there was this whole fight in my mind about what's going on because science says this, science says it's impossible, but it's happening. So
Would you not think though that science says it's impossible because you haven't got the answers for it, and that's pretty much what they do?
I think that we are very much in our infancy when it comes to our understanding the universe.
Yeah.
I read an article today where they have I think they got something to travel faster than the speed of light, a photon to travel faster than the speed of light using a microscopic warp bubble, and it's well, but it happened apparently, and it was, I think, for like a split second or something. But I mean, that's incredible. That's a massive thing.
Haven't they frozen light as well? Didn't they freeze light? I read somewhere. It's on Facebook, so it's probably a load of crap. But I'm sure I've seen somewhere where they've frozen light for like so many milliseconds or whatever.
I don't know. I haven't read that one. I'd have to look for that because it seems a
I'll
bit.
see if you can
unlikely.
find it. I'll send it you.
Yeah, please, because light. The only reason light can travel, well, it travels 186,000 miles a second in a vacuum. It travels a lot slower than that when it starts going through mediums. Diamonds, especially, it slows right down. You know.
Yeah.
But the reason it can do that is because it doesn't interact with the Higgs boson particle. So it can travel in a vacuum at that speed, so because it's got no mass. So how they can freeze it, I don't know. So, yeah.
I don't know. I know. I read it. I was going to take a screenshot. I saved the link, but I just never did it.
Yeah,
So,
I'll have to have a look. Well,
sorry.
I'm
Sorry,
sure I can
people.
search it and have a look. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find it. So, Nicole, are you having a look now to see if they've frozen light?
I will. I was trying to get on my computer
Oh, right. That's right.
because
Is
of
it-
fine.
Skype.
is it
Don't worry.
still playing up?
And so I can, because for some reason I can't see the comments either, so I can't mod on here. But I can't see them.
Don't worry. I'm keeping my eye on it all. It's all good.
All
Oh,
right,
cool.
everybody
So-
behaving themselves.
Well, I'm not sure about that. So, because you were saying that it wasn't your thing. You didn't believe in. Well, not you didn't believe in it, but you followed it. It wasn't. What was it you said? Sorry.
It just went against everything I'd been taught.
That was it. Yeah.
Because the distances are so vast throughout the galaxy that everything takes so long to get here. So how can they be visiting us? So I just, just sort of passed it off. But then I started researching a little bit and heard about a famous case you might have heard of, Roswell.
Yeah.
And that was it. I was down the rabbit hole, and the stuff that everybody knows about, where the rancher found it on a ranch outside Roswell, and bit of wreckage. But when you look into the whole story of it, for instance, the guy that ran the morgue in Roswell, some of the nurses that disappeared, all that kind of stuff, just doesn't add up. And you've got all these guys now that were in the army that are kind of terminally ill. They've got nothing to lose, and they're all coming out of the woodwork, and they're all saying the same thing. Hermetically sealed caskets, about 3 or 4 feet long, and big heads, skinny bodies. There's definitely something to it. But the story they gave out about it, like Project Mogul, was one, a weather balloon. But what didn't add up about Roswell was the fact that they released a statement saying that flying disc was found. That was released by the Army. It was the Army, the Air Force didn't really exist. It was the Army Air Force. And they said, we found a flying disc. Then the following day, that was redacted and said, oh, no, it was a weather balloon. Sorry, our mistake.
Yeah.
What?
I know. And then the material was different because the guy had like these pieces of debris.
Yeah.
And then he stood there with the most miserable look on his face, going, no, it's a weather balloon. Obviously not like that in an American accent. You never know, he might have felt like that.
Why don't we try that, Andy?
No, not doing any more accents.
No, that was the poor Jesse Marcel that they got to pose with this weather balloon. But his kid, he's one of, I don't know how many kids he's got, but his son came forward years later after he died and said he remembers when his father bought some of the metal home, and he could twist it and it would just ping back.
Yeah, go back to how it was.
Memory metal, yeah.
Yeah,
So
because they supposedly they went in and retrieved all the debris that he took, but a few different people, like I said, his son and that, have said he kept some of it because he knew he had a feeling that they were going to turn up and retrieve it all.
yeah.
So I'm sure he buried it or he'd give it to his friends and family and got them to just relocate it, shall we say.
Well, I hope it's out there, and I hope one day it comes to light, because that part of the ranch was only half the story. That was just where the craft first impacted and started to break up. Then it sort of went up again and then came down, and there was a second crash site where the main craft was and where the bodies were.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to that side of the story as well, where photographers were taken into a tent and were told you're to take photos, but you're not to look. And they're like, can I take photos but not look? So of course they looked. And these were the guys, the kind of what we call the men in black, these guys in suits that you don't mess with. But they obviously saw what they were taking photos of. And they described it the same. They were like children, about 3 foot tall.
Yeah.
One was alive apparently. But, yeah.
But this is what just, and this is where I think more people need to like start questioning it. If it was just a weather balloon, why has there been so much military activity from that day onwards for however long afterwards? And why is it still, people are still like going there and finding little bits and pieces?
Well, what actually stinks about it is the coincidence of it is this is not long after the nuclear weapons were used in anger against Hiroshima. Nagasaki. And Roswell Army Air Base was where the Enola Gay took off from, that bombed Hiroshima.
Yes.
Coincidence? So, I mean, you got to remember back then in the kind of late 40s, early 50s, paranoia within the military was massive. You know, everything was communist. You know, anything that came over was communist. So this Project Mogul that they blamed it on was a massive balloon with this huge string of listening devices listening for nuclear explosions in Russia, the testing they were doing. So it was convenient that that's what they were testing at the time, and they said this is what this wreckage was, which clearly it wasn't. But I think it was just a paranoia thing that they couldn't actually say there's stuff in our airspace, same as now. There's stuff in our airspace. It can fly around willy-nilly and there's nothing we can do about it. They can't admit that to the Russians. So this big cover-up, Well,
they won't even admit it to themselves.
No.
That's the worst bit. But it's like, do you think it crashed, or do you think it was shot down, or it was not so much shot down, but brought down?
Don't know. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, apparently there was a thunderstorm that night. Apparently.
Oh, I'd not heard that before.
The rancher apparently was sat on his veranda porch.
Yeah.
And he could see the storm in the distance and the lightning coming down. Maybe the craft got hit. I don't know. Did we have particle weapons back then? Did we have stuff that could interfere with UFOs back then? I don't know. But it just seems that they've come an awful long way just to crash at the final hurdle kind of thing, doesn't it? But
yeah. Well, it's so Spooky Bubs even has put this. So when you follow the data inventions that were leaked out afterwards, you got night vision, microchips, more the silicon chips, fiber optics, bulletproof vests, and God knows whatever else came within months, couple of years afterwards. So
it took a little bit longer to back engineer it. Because you got to think. I mean, I grew up in the 70s. I was born in 1970, the year after they landed on the moon, 1969. Yeah. Now that computer that got them. I mean, back at Mission Control, the computers would fill huge rooms.
Oh,
they
yeah.
were massive things.
Yeah.
And the one that landed them on the moon had no more processing power than a pocket calculator, right? Its only job really was navigation. That was it. But then the 70s came and there was this massive explosion, wasn't there, with Silicon Valley and microchips, and it seemed to come out of nowhere. And then, as the guy said, fiber optics, night vision out of nowhere. So yeah, it's kind of strange.
I know it said that the tech that they've got is like it used to be 50 years in advance before it's released to the general public.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it's nearer 300 years advanced now because of the tech that they've actually got and what's being used before we get any, I suppose, even notification as to what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy that used to run Lockheed Skunk Works that were working out of Area 51, developing the U-2 and the SR-71.
Yeah.
He said, I can't remember his name now.
Is it Jim Goodall?
No. One of the guys will tell me in a second. I always forget his name. Anyway, he said, we already have the technology to take ET home.
Yes.
That's it. He came out and he said that.
I remember that quote.
So we are well behind what we actually think how capable we actually are technologically. We are well behind.
But do you think the possibility that it's us that have the tech and it's not them, and they're coming to Earth to get more tech from us so that they can do what they need to do? We're actually more advanced than we're being told we are, and we're kind of like, we're getting fed with fluoride sort of thing. We're being dumbed down and just not being told anything.
No, I think that they are far more advanced technologically to understand how to manipulate gravity and, more importantly, inertia. Because the reports are that these things go from 0 to a couple of thousand miles an hour. I mean, the ones that the Nimitz tracked, they tracked from about 60,000 feet down to about 2 meters off the sea level in about 2 seconds.
Wow.
So they have figured out I mean, you imagine you'd just be a puddle on the floor, wouldn't you?
Wow, yeah. But do you think, though, that we could have this tech? We've already got this tech, but obviously for a human to go inside, we physically couldn't do it because it'd just tear you inside out, like you just said.
I don't think we've got that much tech. I don't think we've got the tech to travel at those kind of speeds, come to a dead stop. So it's a bit of a tough one because we get fed so much crap.
Yeah.
You don't know you just don't know what to believe. You really don't. I mean,
I know.
Some schools of thought say that they're coming here to save us from ourselves. Other schools of thought they're coming here. There's different species of them coming here, some with different agendas. The Greys apparently are a little bit naughty, and they have got an agreement with the government that they can test people, but give them back, kind of thing. Which
burrows.
All these abductions that we read about. So it's tough to know, isn't it? It's tough to know what's going on.
Yeah. Do you think we will ever find out? I don't mean from the government, but because we know that the government's. I'm going to go down this rabbit hole. We know that the government's not the real ones that are in control. They're the ones they're the puppets, and it's the ones that are working them who are the real ones.
The military industrial complex. Yeah.
Do you think that'll ever come to light, and whether intentionally, unintentionally?
Only if it serves their purpose. At the moment, it doesn't serve their purpose to tell us
No.
because, I mean, they give the excuse that there will be mass religious hysteria and we can't cope with the knowledge that we've been contacted, all that kind of stuff. It's rubbish. It's just it's control.
Without being thingy, I'm not religious, but I believe that more than I believe anything that I've read in the Bible. So,
well, this is the thing, because it kind of slaps in the face of the Bible. That's the thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
But even the Vatican a few years back came out and said, and I think they were sort of preempting something going on. They said, we are willing to accept the existence of aliens, and if they are real, God made them. So they kind of covered their asses a bit.
Yeah. Same again, telling us without telling us.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
But it's just... Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I'm going to annoy you now. Whistleblowers.
Right. I was going to bring that up in a minute, but I thought I'll wait because it's a deep, dark rabbit hole. Sorry, I've just got to pour another drink.
Right. The problem we have in this particular subject, we can't believe anything we're told.
Nope.
Because they've got an agenda. We can't believe anything we see, especially now because of AI. Everything can be manipulated using programs, that kind of stuff. Stories we hear from witnesses, could be making it up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So how the hell do we research this subject? We have people standing up like Lou Alessandro, Stephen Greer, very credible in what they're saying. But what is their agenda? Who is pulling their strings? Why hasn't somebody shot them yet?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's the biggest secret in the history of history, and they're standing on a podium trying to tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
So,
but this is what we were saying before we went live. It was like the word phrase whistleblower is the biggest con I've ever heard in my life. If you are a real whistleblower, you're going to be in a little dingy shed out in the middle of Europe, out in Mexico, in the middle of nowhere, where no one knows that you're there. You're going to have fake VPNs so that you can't be tracked. You're going to be on there for so long. You're going to be saying it exactly how it is. It's not script. You're not going to have all the press there and the radios and the TV and all the media, and then invited people to come in and talk. And then when they're asking, people are asking questions, and they kind of like, same as what politicians do, they divert the answer. So they start answering it and then go off, a bit like what we do, go off and talk about something completely different. If they're a whistleblower,
they're just what they can talk about.
Yeah, they're just going to come out and say it. They're not going to do a Q&A. They're going to look, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. This is what we're doing. And this is why we can't talk about it. But I am talking about it. Nice knowing you. And then
I think there's only two ways that it would happen. Two ways they can get away with it. The first one, Stephen Greer said that he has got information that should anything happen to him, and it's in a vault somewhere, and his lawyer or some guy has got keys to it or whatever, that if anything happens to him, it will come to light and it will screw a lot of people that don't want to be screwed. All right. So if they've got this little thing, and also if something does happen to them, kind of proves that they were right in what they were saying. So you make a martyr out of them, don't you?
Yeah. So basically, he's got them over a barrel. So he's coming out and saying this, and it's like, if anything happens to me, then X, Y, and Z is going to get released, and everyone's going to know everything. Yeah, I get that. That makes sense, but
I don't know. I don't buy it. I still think he's a puppet.
Could be, Nicole. Complete exercise in misinformation, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
but the same thing with disclosure. They gave us exactly what they wanted to give us and no more.
Nothing.
I don't even get excited now about these hearings because it's the same old thing, isn't it? Same old thing. And it's like back in the day when Area 51 wasn't Area 51 when they didn't even admit that it existed, people were still camped around the perimeter trying to take photos of these weird craft that were taken off out of Area 51 that no one had ever seen before, that we now know were the B-1 stealth bomber and the SR-71 Blackbird. So it suited the government's ends for these planes to be misidentified as UFOs. So
because it takes it away from them.
Is it suiting their ends now for Lou Elizondo to stand there and say, oh, that's a tic-tac craft and we don't know what it is, we don't know how it's manoeuvred, it's got no power source, when he knows full well what it is? See what I mean? It is that bloody rabbit hole. And you can just...
I know, it's annoying. It's like, if you're going to come out and say it. Don't tiptoe round and like, oh, I've got to be careful what I say. Well, you're not a whistleblower. You're an actor.
I don't know how they could do it. And the other thing that kind of makes me a bit dubious is this some kind of global agreement? Because UFO phenomena is a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
So is there some agreement between these governments that some country isn't just going to go, look, I'm just going to tell everybody, sod it. You know, how can they all cover it up and get away with it?
Because a lot of these countries don't even like each other. So why would they do it? Why would they do themselves any favors?
Exactly that.
Unless there's more to it than we're being told. Obviously, there's more to it than what we're being told.
I
don't even know why I said that.
With something like that, it's a distraction. Like, oh, hey, we're going to give you some information on aliens. But it's really nothing substantial, nothing of note, while they're doing something else over here that they don't want you looking at.
Yeah,
I likened it to being drip fed. I think that to stand for Trump or Putin to stand behind a podium and say, look, we've been lying since the 1940s at least. It is all real. You know, this is a thing. We have been visited. I think that's going to be too much for people. Number one, to admit that they've been lying for God knows how many years. And number two, it is just a big thing to take in. So an easier way to do it, just playing devil's advocate, is to drip feed little bits of information to get the general public, who are by and large are stupid, to believe these little things. And it's kind of desensitizing them over a long period of time to when they can actually give full disclosure. That's what I hope is happening anyway.
Yeah, it's like hidden in plain sight with Hollywood and TV and even like all these artists, musicians and all that coming out of all different stuff. They're telling us because I don't know what, but for some reason they have to tell us what's going on. But if you do it in like a tongue-in-cheek way, it's kind of like, well, I'm telling you, but I'm not telling you, and I'm telling you without telling you. That's how it is. So they're literally showing us what's going on. It's like, oh, it's just an act, it's just stage, it's just theatrical, and this, that, and the other. But it's like Free Eye Atlas. Well, we didn't get invaded on all 3 dates that we were told was going to happen, and everyone's still going on about it, and it's like it's on its way out the other side of the solar system.
Oh yeah, it's speeding up now apparently.
Yeah, I know. It slowed down when it went round the back of the sun and nobody could see it. Yeah, and then it's vanished. But all these videos that people are putting on social media, it's like an amoeba. You can see that, and it's just moving about. And then there's another one that was put up on a Facebook group. I'm not going to say the name of the group, and you could clearly see it was some sort of like maggot or larvae or something that was just wriggling about, and people are putting, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm like, it's a fucking maggot. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, please sort yourselves out.
It is. And this is the trouble with the internet is the best and worst thing ever invented. Because if ever I wanted to find out about something as a kid, I had to read encyclopedias, and you know what I mean. And that's black. I mean, the science books I were reading were well out of date. I mean, this is back when we thought that Jupiter only had 16 moons, where now it's got bloody hundreds of them. You know what I mean? So, but at least that information can't be manipulated. What we're seeing online usually is a exercise in scaremongering, sensationalizing the truth. You know, so
because that's what gets clicks.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what we want. We love a good story, don't we?
Yeah, but it's like, history books have started, well, not slowly, but from back like pre-war, a lot of the history books have gone. You can't get them in libraries. You can't get them in archives. They've just, some strange, weird way, have all pretty much vanished. And it's not just books. It's like the church bells. How often do you hear church bell now? Very, very rare. Because they removed bells.
They got rid of the bells.
Because of the frequency that was given out. It was too harmonious and too positively light. And it wasn't giving the right... It wasn't... I'm trying to be careful how I say this now. They wanted a lower
Stop being
tone.
politically correct.
All right. It was too negative. It was too positive. They wanted negative because they wanted to spread fear among the people and keep them all under control. They didn't want the light and happy and all the good stuff going on.
Yeah.
They wanted to make everyone dark and miserable and gloomy and shit like that.
Control of the masses. I mean, I'm not going to batter religion. People can believe what they like, and I'll have my own beliefs. Thank you very much. And I just saw it or see it. Now, if there is something greater than me out there, I hope there is. I hope when I die, I'm not just worm food. I hope there is something beyond. I mean, Einstein himself said that energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred.
Yeah.
So I hope there is something, but I think that the idea of religion is a form of control through fear. If you do this, that is going to happen to you. If you don't, it's
mass control, because it's like, right, there's all these people around the world. How do we keep them in place? How do we stop them from killing people and doing bad stuff and robbing and all that? Right, we need to generate this almighty being, and if you do that, then you're going to be struck down by lightning, or you're going to go to the bad guy and all that kind of stuff. So it was a way of policing and using mass control to stop people doing what they're doing.
And every religion, and I think Ricky Gervais said it best.
I was watching some of his stuff last night, and I was crying.
He was being interviewed in America, and the guy interviewing him was a religious guy. He believes in the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, and that. And he said to Ricky Gervais, "Do you believe in God?" He went, "No, I don't believe in anything." And he's like, "Well, how can you not?" He says, "Well, take how many gods there are on the planet. There's about 2,000 different gods, religions,
from different cultures." And
he said, "Well, you don't believe in 1,999 of them, and I don't believe in just one more than you do."
It's true though.
Yeah. So
and it gave people, the authority to rule over other people, to make the rules, because it was bestowed upon them by God.
Yes.
Yeah, because where I was going with that is the Ten Commandments. I couldn't think what it was called. So it's like, right, so it's on a tablet and it's on a scroll and it's there for everyone to see. Oh yeah. So why was that not created when the Earth was created by this one being? Do you know what I mean? It's why is it written by man?
I don't want to Bible bash. I don't want to do it.
No, I avoid religion and politics.
It is so hypocritical, because a certain country has got on their banknotes, "In God We Trust," They swear to God when they're in a court. And everything is revolved around this religion.
Yeah.
But it's okay to kill if it's justified, like bomb a country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all right.
As and when required.
It's all right to kill if you're executing a prisoner. You know, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong here, all right? But don't give it the big one. Don't say, "Oh, in God," and all this.
Well, yeah, but it's like you said, an eye for an eye. And I know that quote's from the Bible. I've not read the Bible, but I know
that's
bits.
The Old Testament. That's
but that's what I mean, though. It's all no, thou shalt not kill. But if you kill one of my mates, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, just keep contradicting yourself, mate.
But people pick and choose what they want from the Bible all the time.
Exactly.
Say, don't get divorced, don't do this, don't do that, because you'll go to hell. But you can wear like mixed fabric clothes, which it says not to do. You kind of pick and choose which ones you want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, so some of them are frightening. Some of them are nothing short of a cult. They are.
That's literally. That is how they all started. If you think it's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just about to start talking about a particular religion, and I thought, no, I'm going to shut up now.
No, don't pick on it. What it can give us a little segue into spirits and ghosties. So that can give us a little segue into that. All right.
Yes, because you've got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yes.
It's literally a ghost.
Yeah.
But they tell you ghosts don't exist.
Yes, exactly. But all right, so I've got my science brain going on again. Okay, so right, people, overactive imagination, corner of the eye phenomena, which we all get. I could have swore I saw someone run from my living room out into the hallway, but it was corner of the eye, so I never trust that because your mind can play tricks. So what are people seeing? You've got the same as the UFOs again, people making it up for attention, misidentification, that kind of stuff. But not everybody is making it up. So what are people seeing?
So what if it is a shared consciousness? So you're not seeing what you're seeing what somebody else is looking at, just that you at that particular moment have tuned into their sight. I'm not saying it is. It's just
it's a theory.
It's possible.
It's valid as any of the others. Yeah. I mean, the school of thought is that ghosts and spirits. Well, you got ghost spirits, poltergeists. You got, if you believe some of these idiots on the TV, elementals, all that kind of stuff. But ghosts and spirits are different things. Apparently, a ghost. Now, I don't know the rules, all right? I didn't make these rules up.
I'm going to write these down and quote you later. Well, carry on.
No, because you get these people come on TV and they're like an authority on ghosts and spirits. Well, it's like me saying I'm an authority on the Easter Bunny. You know?
Exactly.
How can you be an expert in this something, no proof of its existence? But anyway, ghosts and spirits. So a ghost apparently is some kind of replay, some like recording that on a specific set of circumstances at a certain time maybe replays back, which is why you can see ghosts walking through solid walls that used to be doorways.
Yeah.
They don't interact with you. You don't interact with them.
They're the residual ones. Yeah.
Yes. A spirit apparently is a person without a body.
Yeah.
It can interact, can move objects, that kind of thing. And people always misidentify poltergeists as these things. They say, it's poltergeist activity because something moved. No, a poltergeist haunting, the definition of it is a short-lived haunting centered around a person, usually going through puberty.
Yeah.
So it's not poltergeist activity. It's just a spirit that has the ability to move something. And And they seem to be kind of the three main ones. I'm not going to get into ghouls and elemental spirit and all that because I don't believe in it, or demons or anything like that. I don't want to upset anybody, but I'm not going.
Not demons. No demons tonight.
What about puck wedgies?
Who? Sorry.
What about puck wedgies? Do you believe in puck wedgies?
I think I had one once with a dinner. I've never heard of that.
Right, let me see if I've got an image of one.
You've got to tell me what. I've never heard of that.
It's like a forest. Like that is not a puck wedgie.
Kind of.
That's not a puck wedgie.
All right, about this one then.
That's a puck wedgie. That's not a puck wedgie. So it's like a forest spirit, and if you piss them off, they throw you off a cliff.
Well, you're all right if you're not near the coast.
A regional thing. No, seriously, I'm being honest. Is it a regional thing? Because you get we've got something where I live, the part of Britain called the Monkey Man. Do you know, which is a regional thing? So I don't know. Over here, I don't think we've heard of that.
It's more like a goblin type, 3-4 foot hunchback ogre.
A small humanoid being with magical abilities. They are known for appearing and disappearing at will, using poison arrows and creating tricks or harm for humans. Although legends say they were once friendly before turning against people.
I wonder what our name for them is over here. Like a
goblin.
Goblin or something?
Yeah.
Could
be. I think that's all I've got. Like Native American piece.
Could be, yeah.
Because there's a couple of stories about some guy that bumped into one in a forest in the UK, and it wanted him to follow it. He sat down he'd been out hiking or something, and he was sat down to have some sandwiches, and he looked up and it was there probably about 20 foot away from him, and it kept saying these words, and he worked out that he was trying to say follow me or something.
He wasn't eating mushrooms, was he?
Oh, I don't even know if you were there, but this is the story.
Mushrooms.
It could be anything.
I'm going to have to look into that now. No, I've not heard of that. I've really not heard of that. It's weird.
Yeah. No, there's a few things like that, and like gnomes, and like your typical garden gnome. There's like sightings of stuff like that, and not just one.
No. See,
I'll tell you about that one another time.
I've not looked into the. I don't know what sort of heading that would come under. Would that be under
elemental? I'd say elemental, because
it's kind of like an elemental spirit,
because the part of the earth, not the world, like ground sort of thing, the wood, the natural stuff on earth. So like pastures, trees, shrubs.
Because I understood elementals to be a creature born of bad feeling. Do you know what I mean?
No, I thought like elementals like air, fire, water, earth, that kind of thing. So it's like Bigfoot and Sasquatch, kind of, depending who you speak to, can be classed as elementals, because they're foresty type creatures. It's more that they're not out walking up and they're not like walking up and down the high street, and you know what I mean. They're like they're out in the sticks and the woods and the pastures and fields, and they just stay away from it. It's like fairies, fey folk, leprechauns, all that kind of stuff.
Right now,
I would be chasing a puck wedgie around the woods, like love me.
I can't see. I can't subscribe to this sort of stuff, because years ago, like maybe things are hiding in these deep forests and jungles that maybe we haven't seen, and we find new species of things every day, apparently, like beetles and fish and that kind of stuff, which is understandable. But a 10-foot ape living in the forests. And it's still hidden. And it's not just one of them. For the colony to survive, there'd have to be a certain number, wouldn't there? So how is it now that everybody's running around with a camera on their phone? We've still got no footage of it. But saying that, David Attenborough is a firm believer in the Yeti.
Have you heard that interview from years ago? I only heard it a couple of months back.
Where he said about the footprints.
Yeah, I didn't even know this thing existed. So,
the Yeti?
Yeah, he said he was out filming one of the nature programs. They're out in the Himalayas. I think it was back in the 70s, the 80s. It was like
probably
quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
And they found these footprints and stuff had been moved, and they thought that they'd seen a sighting of something. Obviously, as always, the cameras weren't rolling. But he said, like you said, he believes that there's something else out there. As to what it is, he doesn't know.
There is an explanation, a possible explanation of what that footprint could be. So it was bloody great big footprint. If you watch a bear walk, it treads with its front paw, lifts it, and then partially treads in the same print with its back
with the back leg.
So it overlaps, which causes this big footprint. So they've given that as a possible explanation of what this could be. So,
and that would give the thing as to where the bridge of the foot is, which Sasquatch don't have. They have that like that
flat
double joint bit in the middle.
Yeah.
So that could give possibility to that being a thing then.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is. It's just it's possible, isn't it?
Skeptical until they find a dead one, an autopsy it, or they find DNA or a decent photo.
But this is a thing, though. It's like people have found stuff and they've sent it off, and then all these labs just lose all the DNA, whether it's hair, fur, crap, whatever it is they've sent in. And
do they lose it, or do the people that sent it didn't
make
like
it up?
The response they got from it? It's a bear. It's a hybrid of something.
I was watching a video last night, and this guy, I can't remember who it was. Apparently, his dad had shot one back in the 70s or 80s, and he kept it in a freezer, and they'd cut the head off this Bigfoot. And it'd been frozen. It's got all leaves and twigs and everything stuck in it. But you can see, like, it. If it's made up, it's really good special effects artist that has done it, because you can see the windpipe coming down, the spinal column, the nerves, the spinal cord, and all that. Then you've got all the throat, you've got all the muscles and everything around the neck, and it's it's like massive. It's like two basketballs put together. And you can see the teeth, and you can one of the eyes, the other eye's gone. And this guy, and it's one of those. It's open for debate. It's like, because you're not there, you don't know if it's real. It could be. He could have made it out of clay, and he's just spent years and years perfecting it to make it look this good.
Yeah,
but
could be. That's the thing.
He doesn't claim that it was him. He claims it was his dad. That had been out hunting, he seen this thing, and he just shot at it. Didn't know what it was, but he felt like he was going to get attacked, so he did what he could to save himself. And then this is what he got, and because the body was too big, the evidence he got was chop its head off and take it home.
Yeah, that's the problem with the paranormal as a whole, really. With as I was saying earlier, with the leaps forward we've made with technology and able to manipulate footage, photos, audio, that really the only thing you can trust is your own senses. You know, if you've got personal proof, if you've seen a UFO that you were sure was a UFO, or if you've seen a ghost, or if you bumped into the Loch Ness Monster while you were snorkeling, you know what I mean? Then you've had personal proof. Nobody else is going to believe you.
Yeah.
Even if you got a photo, no one's going to believe you.
Tell me about it.
That's all we can do, isn't it? We can try and get our own personal proof. That's it. But as far as Bigfoot,
do you really need to prove it to anybody? Like,
sorry?
if you know that you had that experience, do you really need to prove it to anybody?
Well, no, I don't. I mean, I've done an awful lot of paranormal investigations, and I'm probably in the hundreds. I've been doing them since about 1986, and I was doing houses, which was really dumb, by the way, but I was doing them before I knew better. And I saw nothing for years and years and years. Absolutely nothing. People were saying, "Oh, you're a blocker." No, I was finding rational explanations for what these things were, what people were experiencing, until something happened. And I got that proof, and it didn't prove to me that there was life after death. It proved to me that something weird is going on. People are experiencing something. But I didn't have the need to go and post it on Facebook and try and convince everybody else, because you just get shot down straight away, mate. You get labelled a nutter. And it's the same with everything. If you've had a UFO encounter and you try and post about it, you get shot down. So what's the point?
Well, it's like over the last 2 years, any encounters I've had, I've shared them on air because I can. And some of it, I've got photographic evidence. And I'm not saying not everyone will believe what it is that I'm telling them, but all I can tell you is what I've seen and what evidence I've got from it.
Yeah.
But just because I seen that, I'm not saying it was that. I'm telling you what it looked like to me. Whether it was that or not, that's another story. That's a just completely different rabbit hole. But I can tell you. Yeah. And that's all you can do.
You're not trying to ram it down everybody's throat and say, "Look, I'm right. I know exactly what this was." Do you know what I mean? You're telling a story, and people. This is the thing. People don't come on and say, "Oh, I wish I had an experience like that." They try and shoot you down, and they try and cause an argument and belittle you. And we don't need to do that in this field, because it is difficult enough as it is.
I was going to say it's hard enough as it is. So
exactly,
don't need idiots like that.
So many egos, aren't there? You know, everybody wants to be the next people on the next Zach Baggins and all that sort of stuff. You know.
Don't get me started on him.
Oh, you're not a fan either, then? No.
I used to watch it just to have a laugh. It was just in every single place he went, it was the scariest place he's ever been in his life, and he'd always get pushed or tripped up, and then Jason will get locked in a room on his own, even though he doesn't want to go because he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Why go then? You know what I mean? You wouldn't do it.
It was the same as that famous one that we had in the UK. Most haunted.
Yeah.
It's just Scooby-Doo, mate. It was all it was.
See, a lot of them. See, at the beginning, that was pretty good because they'd play it, and there'd be some episodes you got nothing. There may have been some here and there, but they couldn't point the finger on it. And as it got deeper into the seasons and the episodes, it just became
same old.
Yeah. You'd have a stone thrown at them, or someone would make a groaning noise, or they'd get a breath down the back of the neck or on their ear, or someone would pull their, and it's the same things but different locations. What are they just going around different locations and getting the same spirits following them around? Because surely when I've gone out investigating, and like yourself, you get different types. Even if you go to the same place, you get different experiences each time you go.
Yep. This is the thing. Anyone that does do investigating, and if you don't do it, please just stay out of people's houses, please, because that is a minefield. It is. You can leave yourself open to be blamed for anything. You know, I mean, especially in this climate where we sue people for nothing. So don't go into people's houses. But if you get the chance to do an old building, an old castle or something like that, do it. but you'll quickly find out that it's not what you see on the TV. It's usually 8 or 9 hours of freezing,
yes,
or getting soaking wet, and nothing's happening. Boring. All right. Now that don't make good TV, does it? No. So it has to be hammed up a little bit.
Yeah. I get that, and that's why they started putting on it entertainment purposes only. Just to say, it's like these movies. It's based on a true story. It's like you've got the main bit of what's going on, but everything else is just exaggerated to the sky. So, like I said, it'd be boring without it.
It is, but I mean, I like.
But boring's for me. Boring's good. It's like fishing. You go out. You don't always catch them when you go fishing.
No, that's why it's called fishing and not catching. Yeah.
I think that's why I give up, because I spent more time sat there just waiting than actually bringing anything in. So, but it is, you could go to the same spot week after week after week, and you get different types of fish. Some days you might get nothing. Some days you might be casting in and one after the other. It's different every time. So, and it's the same with the paranormal.
The paranormal, mate, is the ultimate answer to the ultimate question. What happens when we die? The ghost and spirit side of it. That is the question that everybody wants to know. What happens when we die? Right. So to stand in a castle and freeze me bits off for 9-10 hours, I'm quite willing to do that. To experience something that will make me raise an eyebrow and go, oh, maybe there's something to this, and maybe I'm not just kidding myself, you know? So, and it's happened. It's happened. Like I say, I still haven't had proof that there's life after death, but there's certainly something because it happened.
But then...
Hello, are we frozen?
Yeah. But then it's like I spoke to people that have had. No, we're good. You hear me? See me?
We're all right now. We're back now.
I can hear you.
Am I talking
I just had to reboot my internet.
All right. No, that's cool. But it's like I spoke to people that have had near-death experiences, and they've said that some have said, well, not all of them, but some have said that they've gone and there's like this afterlife, and there's this like. So it's like the astral realm when people do astral projection and that. Is that, and other people have said there was absolutely nothing. But is that because that's how they was thinking at that time? That was their thought at that time. So if everything is happening in the moment, if you're just not thinking it, you're gonna get nothing. But if you're thinking, I want to see all this, like carousel, merry-go-round, flowers, water fountains and all that, are you then going to get all that instead of nothing? Do you know what I mean? It's that far at that point in time.
Yeah, I mean...
then it goes back to, are you creating reality?
Yeah. Yes. It is. And that's what the guys that are kind of against it are saying. I mean, near-death experiences is a completely different rabbit hole. And it is fascinating. It really is fascinating, because there are stories of people rising out of their body and watching the surgeons working on their body and then telling them, you use this instrument, you did this, that so many people were in the room. But like Nicole was saying, you're creating your reality. A lot of the time, it's a tunnel of light and loved ones waiting for you at the end of it, but you get pulled back because you have stuff to finish. Now, we know about the tunnel of light thing, and we know about the loved ones meeting us. That is a common thing. So is that our brain, when our brain is being starved of oxygen, are these the last firings of the neurons that are creating this for us? And then when we do get brought back medically, we sort of jump back into our own body, or it feels like we do, you know? So I don't know, but it is fascinating. If you read some of the stories of things that people have seen and things that people have heard, it's amazing.
Yeah. And But it's but it's like Ross Gilbert. He's just put this in chat, and this does my head in as well. And I've actually asked people that have done paranormal TV as to why. Well, I can give you one answer. So he's put the one that pisses me off about most haunted. They never investigated, and when they did say, "Did you see that?" Well, no, we did, because the camera is pointing at your face. And it's like, it's not Blair Witch. But what I took from that was, when something happens, you don't press on it. You go, "Oh, did you hear that noise over there? Yeah, right, let's move to another room." Well, what the fuck? You've just had some activity. Why don't you go over and check it out? Do you know what I mean? It's like, you're there to do that. Why are you now avoiding it?
It's not an investigation. You don't spend most of the night, is anyone there? If you're there, bang for us, tap, throw something. And then when they do tap or throw something, they run and scream. It is literally Scooby-Doo, and it was hilarious. I loved watching it because it was just so funny. But it was nothing like an investigation. An investigation is, it's like these people that run around with all these silly bits of equipment now and don't know how to use them. They don't know what they're for, but they know they've got to buy a K2 because Zach Baggins has got one. Do you know? And because it lights up, it means it must be a ghost.
Exactly. And that's my thing, because people that no, it lights up because it's a different type of energy, a shift of energy. It could be a microwave, it could be broadband, it could be Wi-Fi, it could be FM, it could be long wave, shortwave, it could be any frequency. Telephone, 5G, 4G, 3G. They're the only ones I know. But it could be any of them. It could be a light frequency that it's picking up. It could be IR, ultraviolet, because we can't see these things. And if we're getting like solar flares and all that, obviously you're going to be getting the infrared and the UV from the sun. Even at night, it's still in the atmosphere, it's still in the air, it's still going on, but we can't see it. So it doesn't matter. So we don't know what we're picking up with these meters. We know that there's a change of a frequency. We don't know if it's sound, we don't know if it's light, and we don't know if it's a vibration. So
EMF.
We do know with a lot of the equipment, we just don't know what it is.
They don't investigate what it. I mean, I used to use a tri-field meter, which is one of the
upper. What I've got.
For EMF. Now, when you go into an investigation, we used to use it to find EMF hotspots, like fuse boxes that aren't earthed properly, or cables that are piling out. Levels of EMF. Which the experiments they did with EMF showed that if you are particularly susceptible, it can cause weird stuff to go on with your brain, like feelings of paranoia, hallucinations, auditory phenomena, that kind of thing. So we try and find where these EMF hotspots are just to avoid them. Do you know what I mean? So then you switch your phone onto flight mode, because if your phone's not on flight mode, it's going to go beep, 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 beep across on the K2 meter or the tri-field or whatever you're using, and it's going to set it off. So basically, we're using these as tools, not to investigate, because they're too open to environmental factors. So,
I know. It's like, because I've used a trimeter. I think it's the first time that I went to Rendlesham about 3 years ago. And we was right out in the middle of nowhere. There's no electric cables, there's no water, there's no gas, there's nothing. So I'm there, and I've got it on the tree, and I'm moving it about only slowly. You can see the video; it's on the YouTube channel, and you can see that it starts going up. The numbers go up, and it's like it shouldn't be doing that because there's nothing here. But as soon as I move it from the tree, it goes back to zero. So obviously, there's some sort of energy coming from the tree. It could be the water of the sap that's inside it. I don't know how the inside of a tree actually works, because I've never studied it, but there must be some, because it's alive, it's a living thing, there must be some sort of energy running through it. So I'm guessing it's from that. It wasn't anything paranormal. It was just fascinating that this one tree was giving out these signals.
It does. They're so. I mean, I was doing a aircraft museum up north near Newcastle.
Yeah.
And a two weird thing happens with the EMF meter. Actually, I was standing in the open outside by an aircraft, and I'd already given it a sweep, and there was nothing. And all of a sudden, it just buried. As I went round the corner, the needle just buried, and I'm like, "What the hell?" But there was a phone mast about a quarter of a mile away, and it just buried the needle. So that was explainable. There was another one. We were standing by an engine that had been fished out of the sea.
Yeah.
You know, it was a wrecked plane that had crashed, and they fished this aircraft engine out. And I put my K2 meter, and it was just going like crazy like this. And we couldn't figure it out. We couldn't figure out why this engine would be giving off EMF. Apparently, the salt water reacting with the metal was causing
conductor in it.
Yeah. So it was causing this charge. And it's things like this that you need to sort of take into consideration, whereas other people might have gone, it's haunted, the engine's haunted, but it's it's been possessed
haunted with dead mermaids, the spirit of a mermaid or something.
So yeah, try and stay away from the equipment if you can. I mean, if you want to read about and learn about investigating, the best way to do it, try and find a book by a guy called Harry Price, who he was kind of the godfather of paranormal investigating, and he used scrunched up newspaper and he put flour on the floor. String across doors to see if the door would open and close and the string would break, stuff like that, stuff that isn't open to environmental factors. So that's the best way to do it.
So he's put too many people see these equipment as ghost detectors, but how can we detect what we don't know what we're looking for, basically?
Exactly. How can we call it a ghost detector when we don't know what ghosts are made of? So we haven't got the parameters to build equipment to detect them. It's all about money, isn't it? I mean, you see them on the TV. Everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon. Someone's making a lot of money somewhere.
Yeah, but, I think a lot of it is during lockdown. People were bored, and it was like watching TV, and it's just a shitload of paranormal TV shows that were coming on. So it's like, well, what's the easy option? We're not allowed out. We can't do this. We can't do that. Right. Well, what if we just go and meet up in an old derelict building or a cemetery or something? And it's kind of like what I did, but I've been doing it since being a kid. I just didn't film it or document it. I'd go with my mates and we walk around cemeteries at stupid o'clock at night. Or we go to like supposed haunted locations and buildings. Do a lot of like castles and what have you around Wales. Cause I originally lived from Manchester, so it weren't a million miles away to get across to North Wales. And so you got loads of places like that. You've got lakes, you've got forests, you've got Rivington, Winter Hill, which there's loads of stuff goes on up there. So I know all the areas. So
you must have done Pendle if you come from up there.
Yeah, well, I did Pendle after being clubbing it in Wigan, so it was a different type of night out. Don't ask. That was back in the mid-90s. But
have you, Nicole? Have you heard of Pendle Hill? The Pendle witches,
witch trials. It's the famous witch trials in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hill where they were supposed. I know they supposedly lived in Tyndale Farm, didn't they? Elizabeth Demdike, I think she was one of them.
I don't know the names,
but it's where their ghosts are supposed to frequent now, Pendle Hill. So it's a mad place.
Yeah, Nicole's having issues with her internet, so she'll be back in a minute. But so it's like I'd go out to these different places, but I never thought of doing it. I didn't even know how to do a YouTube channel, let alone anything else. So my thing was just go out, use Facebook Live, go out, film it, document it, send it out. People see something, they see something. If they don't, they don't. If I do, bonus. And that was it. So I wasn't doing it for, I want to be on TV and all this, that, and the other. I want to be the next whoever, like that Baggins. No one asked about that. I just wanted to go out and do it. It's a hobby more than anything else. It's something that I've always done. Even as this is going to sound really fucking weird, but even as a kid, we'd go out for walks with me mum and dad when I was little, but we'd walk around cemeteries. Like the old like churchyards and that. But I used to love it. Loved it. Still do.
I love the architecture. I mean, if ever you get the chance, go to Highgate in London.
That's on my bucket list. That's not a million miles away from where I am.
It's incredible. Absolutely
incredible. I know stories. There's one guy, I think he was in the chat earlier. They had this weird stuff go on. They used to go watching the boxing a lot. They'd go around the country. This guy was from Wales, and they'd go all over. So they'd drive down, they'd park literally outside Highgate, and then they'd jump on the tube and go to whatever part of London they was going to.
Yeah.
And they're literally parking in the same spot. It's like free parking after 5 o'clock. But because it was all evening events and weekend events, obviously you want to save as much money as you can. They've already drove over from South Wales. Do you know what I mean? And then they've been there like 100 times to these different events, and nothing ever happened. This one night they had this particular thing happen, and they're all like, right, okay. And they literally could not get in the car quick enough and get away. But it never happened again. It's just a one-off. But I've spoke about it before, but I can talk to you about it later on your own. But it's like, if that was going to happen, this particular thing that happened would be a reoccurring thing. If it was real, it wouldn't just be a one-off.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just,
I know what you're saying, Yeah. I mean, it's like...
mind-blowing.
I was losing... I'll tell you a ghost story. Because I was kind of losing all faith in it. I thought, this is just crap on the TV. There's nothing to it. Most of the times, if I was trying to help somebody where they were saying, oh, this is happening in my house, usually you would go and find an airlock in the pipes or a bird nesting in the chimney or something like that, or they had one of these old, the old TVs with the really deep backs that built it out. Loads They had one of them too close to their bed.
Yeah.
So it was all that kind of stuff. So I was losing all kind of interest, but I was working for Phil Wyman, who was the original investigator on Most Haunted.
Yes.
He had an events company, and I was part of the crew that we would take people around these places and teach them how to investigate. Well, we found ourselves in the Wakefield Coal Mining Museum.
Right.
And we were the first team that was allowed in there.
Yeah.
So 450 feet underground in a coal mine that is now a museum.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. So we split into our teams, went down in the lift, and we found ourselves in this particular part of the mine that consists of a long tunnel, about 100 meters long. There's a conveyor belt running up the side.
Yeah.
The other side of the conveyor belt is a wall, and it's got corrugated sheeting all the way along it. And you've got the tunnels held up by wooden beams. Yeah. And at the top is a machine that's digging out the coal. So we all made our way up the top, and we're doing the usual stuff you're doing. Oh, is anyone there? Make my torch flicker, bang on, all that crap, And people are loving it. And when you turn your torch off, it is dark, like you wouldn't believe dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is just pitch black. So we're doing the thing, and one of the women in the party, and there's about 12 people with us, including a coal miner who used to work there for safety. He was there.
Yes.
She said, did anyone else see that? I mean, I can't see a bloody thing, love, She said, there's a light. And I said, where? And she turned the torch on and she pointed down the tunnel. There's a light down there. All right, I said, okay, all right, turn the torch back off. And I'm giving it the big one, you know what I mean? I'm the investigator. And
Yeah.
If there's anybody there, do that again for us, please. And this bloody light come on like a firefly, and it was just moving around like this.
Yeah, like
so
fluid.
I'm looking around for somebody with a laser pen farting around, and there's a big steel door at the end, so there's no one doing anything through this steel door. And I'm like, I'm trying to rationalize it like I do. And I said, just wait here a minute. So I've put my torch on, but I've shone it down at the floor so that I can see where I'm going.
Yeah, just enough to get about.
But it's still dark. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm walking down the tunnel, and I've said, do that again for us now. And all these lights, like fireflies, appeared, and one shot up to my face and disappeared.
Oh.
So I'm like, all right, there's got to be a logical explanation for this. There's got to be. So I turned around, walked back up the tunnel to where the group was, stood there. I said, right, everybody face down the tunnel. So they orientated themselves so that they could see down the tunnel. And I said, right, just to show us that you're here, do that one more time for us, please. With that, the middle of the tunnel lit up orange. You could see the uprights. You couldn't see beyond, but you could see the uprights, and you could see a piece of Hessian rag hanging on a nail, and it was fluttering in the breeze. 450 feet underground, there ain't no breeze.
No.
And I said, show yourself. And a head came through the corrugated wall, looked at us, and shot back in. And I'm like, and I'm like, typical. I'm the only person to bloody see that. So I turn around, and I've got me torch. Everyone's like, I've said, wait here. So I've gone bombing down to where this head has come through, jumped over the conveyor belt, and I'm pulling at this sheeting, thinking they're hamming this up. The guys that run the museum are hamming it up, but it's all bolted down. It's all bolted. So the guy that used to work there, the coal miner, come down, and he was laughing. And I said, what are you laughing at? He said, well, every part of that wall is solid coal, except that bit that we put there to cover up a trackway that they used to use to ferry equipment.
Ah.
But it is all bolted down. You can't put your head through it. Everybody described the head the same way. It was a head, it had a beard, the age, it was about 40s.
Yeah.
Explain that. I can't explain. And that's the only time in all those hundreds of investigations that I saw something that I have got no possible explanation for.
Wow. That's a good story, though. That is. Did that not mess you up, though?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Because I thought I had it figured out. I thought it was just a case of mass hysteria. People wanted to see if you want to see bad enough, you'll see.
Yeah, of course you will.
You'll talk yourself into it. And because I'd never seen anything, never experienced anything that I couldn't put a possible explanation to, there are things that happen that were weird, but I think, well, maybe it could have been.
There's possibilities of it being other stuff. Yeah.
And you talk yourself out of it, But this was, and I had 12 witnesses. And it ended up, a couple of the people in the crowd we didn't know worked for the Wakefield Gazette newspaper, and it was in the paper the following day, what we'd seen. So, a bit of a wake-up call.
So did that put you off going out again? Or did it make you want to go out and find more?
Even more.
Yeah.
Even more, because listen, if you take through history the amount of people that have died, it's in the billions.
See, yes.
Why aren't we seeing them every minute of every day? Why aren't we seeing
this is my question.
Yeah.
But then it's you got to look at it. Well, every single person you see walking that when you're driving or walking or shopping or whatever, how do you know? Take 20% of them are not not living anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you don't know. Just because they look like us doesn't mean to say they're a solid person.
Yeah. From what I understand, a ghost doesn't look like your archetypal ghost. It's not see-through like.
No, you not got a bed sheet on. Doing all that.
It looks like a person. Apparently, you know, all these stories you hear.
I've seen full body apparitions, and it's like one looked like a kid in a white t-shirt and denim jeans. One was a woman with dark hair, a white top, and black trousers going across the road.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a monk in a shawl like gliding down some stairs in an old rectory or something like that.
No,
this is. So how do we know that even someone that you talk to, like you bump into a stranger and you have a minute conversation about whatever, like if they're asking for directions to go somewhere, how do you know that is a real person?
Exactly. You don't. That's the thing. Because it's most ghost encounters, they don't realize they've had a ghost encounter till afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, it's because it's not. It's just that sort kind of
doesn't register.
Yeah.
I've had a couple. I've had one or two that I've got on film, and there's one particular one. I'll mention it. Bench guy who's out in a local cemetery, and it just defies everything about speaking to someone. It's like, I'll quickly talk about it because everyone in the chat will be fed up to the eyeballs about me going on about it. But I did make a little Lego version of him. I even got the bench and everything. There you go.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And it's like, we was out doing an investigation. I thought it was the other lad that was with me, Mark. I thought he was sat on the bench. So I'm walking over, I'm streaming. I've got a body cam on as well. I'm like, oh, I hope that's Mark. If not, I've just blinded some random stranger in the face. Anyway, it was some random stranger, and he had very pale skin, very strong Dutch accent, spoke really good English, couldn't smell smoke, weed, no alcohol in him, nothing like that whatsoever. And I'm chatting to him, so I thought that decent thing, explain to him what I'm doing, because now I'm going to feel like a right knob. So he goes, all right, yeah. And he was on his phone. I'm trying to look at his phone to see what he was doing, because it was when Pokemon Go was still a thing. So I thought maybe he's doing that. Maybe he's waiting to meet up with someone. And it was just so weird. And it wasn't until after I moved away, about 30 seconds to a minute afterwards, I just went, I've just spoke to the devil. That's all I got from that. It's like, at the time it felt normal, but when I'd moved away and it's like reality come back, it's like, oh my God, it's one of them moments. And I've got some of the images. So these are stills from the video. There's about 13 or 15 frames from this. So this is what he looked like. I know it's very glitchy, but I had this physical conversation with him. I'm stood about 8 foot away from him.
Right.
So that's what he looked like. So we didn't see any of this, or I didn't see any of this while I was talking to him. So he's there, he's got a cap on, hoodie, tracky bottoms. He sat on the bench. So I'm looking at him and he's looking to me from his left-hand side. He's got his phone in his right hand. So he's like that. So you could see the glow from his phone. This is one of the last frames from the footage, but this isn't what he looked like when I was talking to him. So he's got this orange orb, which materialized. If you watch the video frame by frame, you can see it starts off as like a sheet of paper, and it just gets thicker and thicker. So for me, it cloaks his face.
Yeah,
I didn't see what he really looked like, but because I'm using my eyes to look at him, and we only have like 20% vision of all the different frequencies, I'm guessing that the cameras picked it up as to what he actually looked like. And well, it's not picked it up, but this is some sort of filter. so I couldn't see who it was that I was talking to. But even though that's quite glitchy, if you look, you can see his eyes, you can see his mouth, you can see his chin.
Yeah.
And I can send you these pictures. And when it's not high, that much high res because of the pixels on it, he looks like he's got the typical, the nose comes down, the chin comes out. He actually looks like the devil, the depiction of the devil.
And what did he say to you again?
I was just chatting to him. I apologized for blinding him. He goes, no, it's fine. He goes, I'll explain what I was doing. He went, oh, and he went, I was just looking for your mate. I thought you was in because you dressed the same. He went, oh, the other guy with the torch and phone. I went, yeah. He goes, oh, he's just walked down there. He just walked past me. So I find Matt. I walk round. I find him. I said, oh, the guy on the bench told me he was here. He goes, what guy on the bench? And he was using his mobile to film. So he stopped it, took it back. And as he's walking past the bench to see if the guy was on it, there's nobody on this bench. And it's only like I'd say less than 10 seconds or around 10 seconds from when he walked past for me, because I could see him walking down that way as I'm walking up. But I just left him to it. And so I've got the body. Well, I've got the body cam on. I don't know. I was just like drawn to him for whatever reason, but this is the best bit. So I had the body cam on, right? He looked mid, like say between 25 and 28 years old. Yeah, and like I said, he had a strong Dutch accent. People in the chat, because there's two people in the studio while I was out, so they was doing this. I was out investigating. One of them thought I was talking to myself. They couldn't hear or see anyone. Certain people in the chat could either only hear what he was saying or could only see him. And there's others that couldn't hear or see him. When I listened, because the visual quality on the camera was crap because it was dead dark, but the audio quality, and I need to try and find this, when I listened to it back, he sounded like he was like 80, 90-year-old, really frail and sort of voice. But I'm talking to him, it was some teenage lad, just with a Dutch accent.
So why the devil? What made you think that?
Don't know. It was the first thought that came into my head.
And you believe in the devil?
I don't believe the devil is a particular person, but I don't believe he's evil either. I think, you ever seen Lucifer on Netflix? The series.
I love Lucifer.
Yeah, but I see it as that. It's like, if you're a dickhead, the devil's going to sort you out. If you're just doing your own thing and keep yourself to yourself and not causing shit with anyone, then he'll leave you alone. So I see it more like that. It's like you've got good and bad, and he'll only, what's the word? Do justice on the people that deserve it, sort of thing.
I don't know, mate. I never figured it out because, see, I don't believe in anything like that. I mean, apparently he was cast out of heaven.
He's a fallen angel.
Was destined for the underworld. So he was a nasty bastard, apparently. But if you're nasty, he punishes you rather than going, high five, mate. He punishes you for being nasty. So I don't get it. I don't know. I'm not having that. But I'm like I say, I'm not dumping on what you believe.
No. But this is a fit. So I never believed in it. I don't believe in God. I didn't believe in the devil. I don't believe it as being a single form. I believe it is like some like mass of energy, like everything is.
Yeah.
But it's just when I walked away, it was like that was the devil. So don't know whether it was him as a person was the devil or the energy that he was giving off.
Nasty piece of work.
No, it weren't. No, there's nothing nasty. There's nothing negative about it. And that's a weird thing. It wasn't, I wasn't like, oh my God, that was the devil. It was like, it was more, that was the devil. And it was just, it just wouldn't register. Is that one of those surreal moments where, what the fuck just happened? That was the devil. Why am I not crying like a baby and being dragged into hell? Do you know what I mean? I had an actual conversation with whatever this thing was. But then when I met up with Mark and we went through it all, we should have still been able to see where he was. He was at the top of this hill where the war graves are. And he'd be just gone. We would have seen him walking out. There's only one main way in, and there's a little tiny gate for like, pedestrians. And that's it. They're the unless you're going to climb an 8-foot spike fence or climb up into the back of someone's yard, you're not getting out of there.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt you had the experience. It's just that the meaning that you took from it that is a bit. Because I mean, if you're, I mean, this is the thing about, and I'm going to upset a lot of people here, but demons.
Yeah.
Right. Demons are a big thing, especially over the other side of the pond in the States. They're a massive thing. Demons. And we don't seem to have them here.
Right.
Or as much or anything near as much. And my kind of thought on it is, if you are that way inclined, deeply religious,
yes,
which people that have problems with demons tend to be deeply religious, your particular religion, you are predisposed to believe in angels and demons and the devil and this kind of thing. So anything good that's happening in your life, the angels were watching over me and this happened, but anything bad and all of a sudden you're under attack by demons. Can you see where I'm going?
Yes. Yeah.
So if we are kind of predisposed and we get a bad feeling about something, like meeting a person sitting on a bench
but I did not have a bad feeling whatsoever whilst walking up to him, talking to him. Even afterwards, I didn't have a bad feeling afterwards. It was just, shit, that was the devil. That was it.
And that just popped in your head out of nowhere.
It was just there. And I'm like, why did I even think that? I don't even think it was my fault. Because it isn't something that I would have come up with.
Yeah.
I'd have just gone, maybe it was a ghost. Maybe it was just some random guy sat there on his phone. But it was like, shit, that was the devil.
But that's more bizarre than actually seeing what you saw.
Yeah, but then it
came up with that. Yeah, it's
then
weird, isn't it?
It's this image, because he didn't have this orange orb in front of his face, and this orb grew from literally nothing to that, and you can see him smiling and looking through that. Yeah, I didn't see any of that when I was sat or stood talking to him. And we went back to try and replicate it. We used the exact same equipment, same time of night. We used different equipment, went different times, different days. I've done it. I've had different people come down, meeting up, and they've all tried to replicate it in the exact same spot, doing the exact same thing. Cannot do it. Not even with a torch in your face, you can't do it.
See, that's investigating. It's trying to replicate it. And that is your personal proof.
I still go back every so often, and I'll sit on the bench. I'm like, how did this? And I'll sit in the same spot, just either me or I take the dog for a walk or whatever, and I'll just sit there. It's like, how did it even happen?
Yeah,
and I just cannot work it out. Other than
that's the good stuff.
Yeah,
when you can't figure it out, is the good. I mean,
it's annoying.
Of course it is. I mean, I was out. I leave for work really stupid o'clock in the morning. I'm up at 4:30 sometimes, and I go down to my van and I do my van checks, and I'm always looking up at the stars because I love them because there's no right or wrong. They're just there and they're doing their thing, and I love it. And I saw something fly across the sky.
Yeah,
and I see lots of stuff fly across the sky, but this thing was zigzagging at high speed, and I'm talking. It went from one horizon to the other in about 2 seconds. Right?
Wow!
And it annoyed the shit out of me because I couldn't figure out what it could have been.
Yeah, I've had loads. Well, not loads, but I've had enough stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it just gives you more questions. You don't get any answers from it.
No.
So it is what it is. But we are, unfortunately, at the end of the show.
That's flown, isn't it?
That has gone far too fast.
Yeah.
You definitely need to come back on again.
Yeah, no worries. Of course.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. I really enjoyed
so thank
it, mate.
you so much for coming on. Nicole apologizes. She thought it was the internet, but she contacted tech support and the laptop is pretty much fading away to nothing.
Oops. Right.
Yeah. So, yes. So she apologizes for not being able to come on.
Oh, it's a shame, but
no,
can't be helped. It happens, doesn't it? Tech.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Especially when you do this.
Yeah.
So, massive thank you, Gaz, for coming on.
You're welcome. Enjoyed it.
Hopefully you come back on. Need to get Nathan on as well, and any of the other gang that can just all come on together, and we'll just talk more of this stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You'll love Nath. He's ace, and he's very much like myself, and he don't hold back.
Yeah. Well, I met him when I was talking at Bufog last year. He was in the audience.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a chance to speak to him. He had to shoot off. And I was like,
he's
starting my nerves out.
he's very, very, very knowledgeable in stuff, and he's a great guy.
Yeah, definitely. But he's talking at, I said before, he's talking at Bufog tomorrow, according to Dave Hodrian. So he messaged me yesterday. Unfortunately, like I said, I can't get down. It's too far, and I'm up at 6 o'clock for work. So I'm not doing 2.5 hour round trip and then getting 4 hours sleep just for Nathan. Sorry, mate. You're good, but
we get him to video
on a weekend. Yeah, on a weekend. It'll be easier.
That's it.
So thank you for coming on. Thank you, Shelley, for gifting out the memberships to the 6 people that you did. I already did the 10 membership giveaway 2 days ago. I just did it to get it done. So there's a lot of people there that have got the membership. Massive thank you to Gaz again for coming on. And definitely, I'll send some of that stuff over to you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
As if I'm not worth. You are worth it, but I think unless you're going to pay my bills when I don't go into work, then we'll go from there. If I'm not worth it. If you was nearer,
he should make the effort, shouldn't he?
Yeah. If it was nearer, I'd go, but it's like an hour and 20 minutes away each way, so it's a bit of a drive.
I went to their Halloween, their fancy dress party the other week. 4 hours drive. 4 hour drive. That's commitment. Commitment, that is.
There you go. Maybe not then. Yeah, you've seen the other side to it. But no, it's like I'll go if I'm off that work that week and I've got the Friday off or whatever, then I'll go down. So I do go now and again. It's just more again than now. So just the way it is. So yeah, thank you everyone in the chat. We will be back on Friday for our first live. I'm gonna find it. Can't even get the mouse to work. We are doing our first paranormal pizza. 2 rules. We talk about the paranormal and you have a pizza. Your pizza's your ticket to get in. If you don't have a pizza, you don't come on. Simple as. That's it. I'm going to be nasty about it. Well, not nasty, but I'm going to be on it.
Got to be on it.
So, yeah, you can have a cold pizza. The only thing that you can't have on your pizza is pineapple. I've already been asked this question. Who would want pineapple on it anyway? No. Please, no. Come on.
It's a thing.
No.
I've gone off you. I thought you was all right.
I did see you said pineapple and pizza. Anyway, we just won't talk about that's one rabbit hole we're not going to go down. So thank you. So join us on Friday where there's going to be myself, hopefully Nicole, and 8 guests. And we're going to have different topics or toppings that we're going to be talking about. And that's it. And as you'll notice, there is a banner behind me, which is for the Just Mates talk show. This is the one that I'm doing on Network 12 TV. Was it? I never get the name right. Channel 12 TV network. It's a subscription TV network over in the US. So I've done the first episodes on there. We've recorded the next 2. So they're all going to be going out soon. And it's about, I think it's £10 a month subscription. So it's pretty much like Netflix. And there's loads of stuff on there. These are all different movies and TV shows and other visual podcasts and all that kind of stuff. So please do go over and subscribe. And that is it, everyone. So anything you want to end with? Where can we find you? What you're doing? All that kind of stuff.
Well, myself and Nath, we do a show, Paraverse, which you can find if you go over to the Uprising group or Paraverse. Just put it in Facebook, you'll find us. And the other productions that we do there, we've got Luna gets involved in, Stacey.
Yeah,
we got lots of stuff going on. So yeah, just come over there, you'll find us, and we do a show very similar to this, and upset people really. So it's pretty good. Yeah, we try not to, but we end up
nothing
upsetting
wrong with
somebody.
That. Yeah, the thing is, it's easier to upset people, though, isn't it? To make everyone happy.
Yes.
Yeah,
so why
exactly.
try it? Why try it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right. So cheers, everyone. Back on Friday, 8:30 for the Paranormal Pizza. So until then, have a wonderful time. See you all soon. Cheers, mate. Speak to you in a bit. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.